My name is William. Today I'm going to tell you a story about me, a story that I want to share, something that I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time believing, but I want to share it anyways. Okay, this is a fact about me that I think a lot of people don't know. I have not seen a doctor since I was about 4 years old. Yes. I have seen a doctor to get MC slips when I'm not well, but I have not been treated by a doctor. I have not taken any medication or drugs. So for almost my whole life, I've been drug free. So yeah, it's quite unbelievable, but yeah, that's me. I'm going to tell you a story about me, my family, and why we don't see a doctor anymore. You see, when I was a kid, since birth, my parents found out that I had dyslexia and ADHD. Now, if you don't know what dyslexia is, it's this brain function where you cannot read and write certain words. And ADHD is where you cannot focus, when you have a lot of energy and you become very hyperactive. So I have both those diseases and illnesses. And how my parents found out was that when I was in preschool, my father had always noticed, both my parents have actually noticed that I've always lagged behind the class. I was always one of the bottom three, but at first he thought I was just very playful and I didn't want to focus in class. But as I grew older, he noticed that something was not right. He noticed that I had a problem with phonetics. He noticed I couldn't pronounce certain words or say certain vowels properly. But my partner thought I was just being lazy. But it became even more worrying when the teacher of my preschool told my parents that every 15 minutes she has to let me run around the class for a while to let off some steam because I was too hyperactive. It became very clear when one time my father was helping me in my homework and he noticed that I couldn't write Q and P properly. I couldn't see P and Q. P looked like Q to me and Q looked like P to me. So when he saw that, he knew that in his heart that I had dyslexia and ADHD. It was very clear. And he said it was quite tough. He told me that it was quite tough to see that I was struggling a lot in school, struggling with my exams, and it was even hard also to see me because I looked very defeated by my circumstances. However, miracle happened. It was you could say a coincidence because not long after he realized that I'm struggling with this, then he found a teacher who ran an academy called the Heaven's Gift Academy. That academy taught him a lot of things, about healing people that the conventional way of healing people will not teach. He taught about nutrition, water, energy, how to use your energy properly, and he learned as much as he could from the teacher, and the teacher taught as much as he could, and he used it to apply to me to see whether it can help me. So the first thing he told me he did was he changed the water. He used a different type of water. He used crystal charged water. Now I want to explain to you how crystal charged water works. It's really complicated. There's a lot of weird science involved, but it's clear that the water was much cleaner. It had very little content of arsenic and heavy metals that typical Malaysian water that you buy from the store have. He used that water instead. That was the first step. The second step he did was he stopped allowing me to eat junk food. I know, sad. He asked me to eat more organic food instead. I remember last time I wondered why there was so much organic food in the house, and I thought, I just thought why, but now I know why. Now that I'm older and then he explained to me, now I know why. So yeah, it was funny. My parents gave me really easily digestible food like vegetable, fruits instead of sugar and carbs, so that more energy will be used to repair my brain rather than be used to heal my stomach. So yeah, that actually does happen when you eat a lot of hard to digest, so more energy will be go to your stomach instead of other places in your body. And then third was about energy management. Yeah, my dad told me that it was a lucky time because I was a young kid, so studies and education was not too big of a problem. He didn't want to pressure me on tuition and my results. Instead, he was more worried about me getting better. So he was more concerned about me resting, getting enough energy, to not be so hard on myself, so that more energy will be used to heal my brain, like I just said, heal my brain rather than on my studies. So yeah, that was the third step. The final step he said, and I actually remember this very clearly because it was quite strange. His teacher told me to take this supplement. It's not a medicine, it's a supplement, like like herbs and all that. It's a supplement called Udo's oil. You know, fish oil? Yeah, it's something like that. It's a kind of oil. Within days, he gave it to me, and within days of consuming, one day, out of nowhere, I came up to him and I finally explained to him what a P and Q was, and that was when he realized that I was getting better. That was an eye-opener for him. It became very clear that I was healed when one day I suddenly became one of the top 3 in my class in my preschool, when I usually was the bottom 3. So I became much smarter. I suddenly can become more relaxed. I remember I was being more relaxed, more comfortable, feel less agitated, less angry. I was very chill, and I could actually understand and read books properly. That's when I realized also that I was changing. I was acting differently. I knew I was acting differently. So yeah, even though I was very young, but I still remember some of these things that happened to me. But I never knew that it was because my father did so much for me. So it was quite a miracle, you say. Yeah, after that, anytime someone in the family was ill, we would use these alternative methods to heal us rather than seeing a doctor and take heavy medication, which we all know that a lot of people know out there that it's actually not very good to take a lot of drugs. So yes, yeah, so that was what we did, and I think it's been working out very well for our whole life. But the ultimate result was me, you know. They realized that now that I'm better, they can finally feel relaxed, they can feel contented, relieved that I can live and walk as a normal human being on this earth without them worrying. And from a parent's standpoint, I think that's a very big deal for them, you know. So yeah,